I just want to say this before we finish our class, that on Monday we had a funeral of a person which I know very well. He's a doctor, and he went in a coma 8 months ago. I was actually the last person, me and a brother, to talk to him before he went into coma. For 8 months he was in a coma, and yes, on Monday he passed. On Sunday he passed away, but because Sunday there is no death certificates, it's closed, everything. They have to wait until Monday. SubhanAllah, I didn't know that. Everything's closed, you have to wait. Allahu Musta'an. And I've been called to go there and see, so alhamdulillah. And we went to the Muslim cemetery. It's called Garden of Peace. I don't know if you heard of it or not. Yes, Garden of Peace. I've never been to it before. Okay. And I went, it's a long travel. It's from London itself, from London to things about an hour and a half journey. Because of the rush hours and lots of cars. It's outside actually, the outskirts. It's almost in Essex area, Ilford area. When we went inside, alhamdulillah, I was really just want to share with you. Number one, I was really seeing the graves, mashallah. The graves are very well organized, very, very well organized. Headstones are normal ones, like I would have, that tiles, normal tiles. And I've heard, I don't know, I have to check that as well, that the cost of the burial, anybody can be buried there as well. You don't have to be in that borough. The cost is £3,000, and they said, some of the brothers, they said it's even cheaper than our local in London, because it costs 4,000 there, the locality in some of the areas in London. So 3,000, and 3,000 includes, the land, and they've got lots of things to do for you, there. And the workers, mashallah, are very looked after. It's very beautiful. It's got a river there, but they've got a masjid for the men and the women. They call it musalla. And that musalla, you see, you need to know, the musalla al-janaiz, it has to be separate from the masjid. Even if it's to pray the janazah on it, to pray the janazah in it. So the musalla janaiz has to be separate with a fence. So the masjid is separate with a fence, or the musalla is separate with it. That means the entrance for the masjid is different from the entrance for the graveyard. Whether it's a masjid to pray 5 daily prayers, or whether it's just for the musalla for praying the janazah, because the Prophet ﷺ, he had a musalla for janazah, but it's separate, and it's better to be built in a way where the graves is not in the qibla direction. So it's on the right, the left, or the graves are behind, but not in front of the qibla. But actually that one, the graves are in the front. Yes, between the graves and that musalla, there is a river, like a little river, I would say about 5 meters width, 5 meters from here to there, that little river, the water. And I could see, because I went there, I could see that there is, you can't see the graves because there's lots of trees. You can't see them from there because they're a bit far away. Not far away, they've been blocked because of that river. But that river is not enough because it's within the fence, which is for the whole cemetery. You go there. And they don't pray just the musalla, they bring the janazah there, they pray as well about not 5 daily prayers, they don't pray the fajr, I don't think so, but the 8 people who pray the asr, they pray it there as well. I was pushed for time because when we went, it took us so much time, I was pushed time for asr, so I had to pray the asr inside there. And when I prayed the asr, it became a jama'ah, because those people came with you, wanted to pray the asr, and dhuhr and asr and maghrib, together, so close. So I had to pray the asr, and with the intention, I told the people that we should not have this musalla here. I've been told about it before we came, while I was coming in the car. I did not see it was as bad as I thought. Alhamdulillah, that means you can't see the graves. It said a bit of distance between, it's about maybe 30 meters between us and the graves, and plus there's a river. But I would say I told the brothers there, they should have this. Anyway, when I saw the burial, I was really happy with the burial, except that these people, they still have these habits. That is, as soon as they lift up, they're professional, they lift up the coffin from the car, kalimat shahadat, that is kalimat shahadat, it's supposed to be quiet, kalimat shahadat, so I had to wipe that out, but later on, I'm coming to the story, kalimat shahadat, and I'm filming it, and actually I filmed all the process with my, and I remember looking at my wife, and then somebody else, he brought his mobile, he wanted to film as well. I want to see what is happening, so I could really as well study it. So kalimat shahadat, and I'm saying nothing. They put him there and so Then I saw the grave is deep, but it's not as wide as I thought in terms of width. So it's really just a bit for the person, but the people who are going to put it, they're going to be tight for them. But alhamdulillah, there was a person who was professional, and then there was a son of that doctor who was going to lay him down. So they brought him, and they brought him from the feet side, which is the sunnah, but they have actually did like this and they went down, which is a way because it's tight. They can't really bring him. They have to bring him from the side, and then they lower him with the belt. It's got some belts there until they come down, and they put him. And when they put his back towards the wall, so he could be tilted with his head towards the qibla. And then they brought the slabs, which are from wood, and they put the slabs not this way. They made it like a lahd, basically, which is with an angle. So they put them there, and then it's bang on top of it, so it really will go into the mud of it. And mashallah, laying down very good. The last piece would be even in thickness would be, or width would be less width because of the last bit just to cover everything. And everything went well, but when they put the body, they didn't say Bismillah ala millati Rasulullah. They said some other words. But I don't know, Bismillah wa ala millati Rasulullah. Somebody said Bismillah ala, so only once, only once. And then they put the sand. When they put the sand, brothers, there are 3 sand throws, which is a sunnah, but they said, Minha khalaqnakum, wa fiha nu'idukum, wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra. I don't know if you heard about this or not. It is from it we created you, and from it we'll bring you back, and to it we'll show you, and from it we'll show you, raise you back again. Minha khalaqnakum, that is, from it we created you, wa fiha nu'idukum, and in it we'll return you back, and minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra, and from it we'll return you back again. I said to the brothers later on, that is telling you that you throw the throws next to the head, not to the body, but not to say these words because they're not authentic. Now, they've done the grave and punished and everything. While I was left, and then the doctor's son, he called me to come and give a talk or to say dua, to make dua. So this is my opportunity to come. As soon as I'm coming, this person who's an old man, I wouldn't say old, but he looks very fit, short, and with white beard. And as soon as he called me, this guy started reciting next to his feet some ayat, can't remember, some ayat, I don't know which surah. It could be the last verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, can't remember. It could be the last verses of Al-Baqarah. And then he came for as soon as I said, what are you going to do? He recited the verse, and I thought he's going to start, this is Khutbat al-Hajjah for him, and talk. But he left his position, he's going to go to the head now and recite something. That's when I had to jump in. So I jumped in. So now, uncle, please, quite please, there's no recitation of the Quran. And I started with my addressing of the people. Inna alhamdulillah, I don't know if somebody recorded it or not. And then what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given to my mind, I just give it to the people. And then I pointed out all these things, which are wrong. Number one to start with is the Quran. Especially the Quran in the cemetery is not from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For very the Prophet of Allah, he said, recite Quran in your house, especially Surah Al-Baqarah, and don't make your houses like the graveyard. For very the shaitan will flee away from a house where the Baqarah is being recited. And I kept telling them, and then I said, every person prepare himself. Every person prepare himself that one day is going to be one of these holes. Everybody, look at everybody. You could be in the following hole. Now, the people and that person who I stopped in the uncle is in front of me, he's looking at me. And actually, I thought he's from the hardcore Sufis. They told me actually he is a mu'adhin in the Hanafi masjid, in the other masjid. And he was, when I started talking, because of my Arabic, and he's not an Arab, he's Bengali. As soon as these people hear the Arabic, some of them, they just surrender. He started shaking his head, happy. Even with my saying. And then I said, all of that, what you just said is bid'ah, but even he's happy with that. So he did not really object, alhamdulillah. And I was really happy with that, because he did not really, usually, when we happen in our country, there's a Sufi, and we'll tell him, get out. I have to stop him like this. Stop it. You have to go with the power. But this person was, mashallah, acknowledging, and everybody was quiet and everything, and even he had some people, maybe when the bid'ah on him, they just surrendered to everything. When you hear the Qala Allah, Qala Rasulullah, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the hearts with these words, and as'al Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala an yanfa biha. And I said, who is going to be in the next one? Now, in my mind came the following. There was a person which I know, he used to be from Ahlul Bid'ah. And every time there is a death in my country, he used to go there. If he sees me, he doesn't talk. I have to talk. But if he doesn't see me or see anybody, it's an opportunity to give a talk. The talk became like a person who wants to show off. A person who wants to a person who wants to be elected in the parliament, a candidate, so he would come as well, show himself and give a talk. It's not for the deaf. So they prepare themselves, who had died, just to go and give a talk, that's it. It's not for the sake of learning from it. So this person, they told me what happened. I was not there, he went. And he was talking to, giving a talk about a person who died. And he's saying, oh people, prepare yourself, who's going to be in the next hall? The following day, he himself died. And he was in that hall that he was talking to. Now I was saying, who's saying this? And I'm saying, it came to my mind. This morning, I had this following message to my mobile, and he's saying to me, and this is, I've got the message here. Salam, the uncle you stopped reading died after Fajr. Allahu Akbar. And I phoned him and said, repeat that again. He said, the uncle that you stopped, the one who was shaking his head and everything, he died this Fajr. SubhanAllah. And he said to me, I said, there's nothing wrong with him. There is nothing wrong with him, and that's why they're going to delay his death. Because if he did in the hospital, there's nothing wrong. They have to do autopsy. I don't know, maybe 2 days they're going to take. And they said, tomorrow is what? Christmas. Nobody there. So this is what I felt pity for him. SubhanAllah. I'm asking forgiveness for him, wallahi. And I asked as well that he had forgiven me, that I have to stop him. I had to stop him. I told his uncle, there's no Quran, please, plus. But he was acknowledging the Quran was saying. But it shows you, subhanAllah, that death can come at any moment. That person was looking in front of me, he was in front of me, I was at the end of his grave and I was there, and I was looking, and who's going to be there? Maybe he's going to be in that hall which I'm pointing, maybe, or the following, but who's going to be there? And I'm just saying to everybody, who's going to be there? Who's going to die? We don't know. Anybody, in the age of death, we don't know. Could be after we go, we die. So prepare yourself. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن ينفعنا بما قد سمعنا. جزاكم الله خيرا وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله.